Welcome! In this video we are going to take a look at another example, a more complex example of web service monitoring with Zabbix. So what I did was to basically download the Python interpreter, and you can download any version that you like. So this is basically an example application, and here is how it looks like. So we open up idle, and here we would like to do the following: create a new file, and can we zoom in? No, we cannot. Alright, then this will do. So basically what we would like to do is to create a simple Flask application, and this application will represent an API, and we do not want unauthorized access to this API. So at first we create it as it is and then try to protect it. So what we would do is to import the request object, and basically we read out the X request argument from the request that args.get X, and read out the Y and return the product. So X by Y equals X by Y, and if the name is equal to main, then we use the app.run on the host 192.168.56.6 with the port equals 80 by 80 and the debug equals true. Let's save it, and save it on the desktop and call this api.py. In order to work, we need to install Flask and Flask HTTP auth. And once these are installed, we should be able to run the api.py. And if you visit this site in the browser, you can see that without arguments it gives an error, but if we say that X is equal to 5 and the epsilon is equal to 3, then the error is X by Y equals to 15. This is working. So first what we have to do is the following. If we have the SC Linux enabled on our Zabbix server, then we have to issue the sudo setenforce 0. This will disable it, and this is needed for it to work. Or you can allow the specific port through SC Linux. The decision is yours. So now our application is up and running. Let's create our monitor. So we click on the web and click on the create web scenario and call this Python web app. And we want to update it every 5 seconds. Attempts 1. This is fine. And we have to add the step. Let's call this Python web app. And this is the URL that we would like to use. But we have to remove the query string part. After that, here on the query fields, we can specify the value. So let's give the value of 7 to the X and 9 to the Y. So 7 by 9 is basically 63. So X by Y equals 63. And this would be the required string, and the status code is 200. However, the asterisk is basically a character which should be escaped, so we have to use a backslash. Now that we have this added, we could go back to the hosts and click on the web. And here, under the Python web app, it should start working any minute. So, as you can see, it is now producing a speed and the response time. And if we go to this section, you can see that this is working fine. Let's add basic authentication. So we go back to our web application and we have to write the following code. From Flask HTTP auth, we import the HTTP basic auth, and from workzeug.security we import the generate password hash and the check password hash. These are needed to allow basic authentication, and we create a variable from the HTTP basic auth, and after that we have to specify users. These are going to be users which are allowed to log in, and this is called admin. This is the key, and we have the value, which is the generate password hash, and the password is going to be admin, just to not complicate it. We have to create an auth verify function, and basically the verify password is going to be the name, and we have the username and the password, and we say that if username is in users and check password hash users dot get username, and the password gives back true, so we have a valid user and we have the password which passes the verification, then we return username. And in order to use that, we can say that auth dot login required. Let's save it. And we don't have the Flask, so Flask HTTP auth, HTTP auth, and if we go back to this site and hit enter, it gives us a prompt, and we enter admin, and since the authentication was successful, we have the results. Let's modify our monitor. So we go back to the website, configuration, hosts, web and Python web app, and under authentication we select basic and specify admin and update it. So currently we see that there was an error, but if we go back and wait a little bit, the error goes away. So this was when the authentication monitor was not updated, and now everything is working fine. So this is how you can use query strings in your web service. So like this. And how you can set up authentication. That was all. See you in the next one.